Good morning, class 8th. So, today I am going to start your chapter number 2, that is microorganisms, friend or foe. So, in this chapter, you have studied this chapter in class 5 also. A little bit knowledge you know. As the name suggests, microorganisms. Micro means small, tiny, or very small. Organisms means living beings. So in this chapter we will discuss about the microorganisms, means the tiny living beings which are present in our surroundings. Let us see how these microorganisms can be seen and what are these microorganisms. Basically microorganisms are, you can see here, this lady is using a microscope to see the living beings present in the slide. So these, now you can imagine how small these living beings are, so that these are not visible by naked eyes. With the help of microscope you can see these living beings. Okay, so microorganisms are basically the small living beings which are present in the environment. These can be present in the water, in soil, in different living beings also. Okay, so the tiny living beings are called microorganisms, and these can only be seen under the microscope. Do you know who has discovered the microscope? It is Antony van Leeuwenhoek who has discovered the microscope. Now let us see what are different types of the microorganisms. Basically microorganisms can be classified into 5 groups. First one is bacteria. You can see this green structure, these are known as bacteria. Second one is fungi. Okay, fungus, you have seen this mushroom is a fungus. Then third one is algae or alga. Okay, these you find these algae in the pond or near the surface which is wet. Fourth one is protozoa. These are the small living beings which are the smallest animals, you can say. And the fifth one is viruses. Okay, you can see this is the structure of influenza virus. Nowadays coronavirus has spread, so all those are the viruses. So basically microorganisms can be bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa and viruses. Now let us discuss about each and every group in detail manner. Let us see what are bacteria. Bacteria is basically a prokaryotic unicellular microbe. Now let us discuss, let me clear you these two terms, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic means that these cells, these living beings have a cell and their cell has no nucleus, means their nucleus is not they do not have a proper nucleus. Their genetic material is found anywhere in the cell and it is not having any boundary. Okay, so these are prokaryotic unicellular. Unicellular means these are made up of one cell. Okay, so bacteria are the microorganisms which are prokaryotic and unicellular. Let us see what are the habitats of these living beings. Bacteria, these you find, these will be present everywhere, in the food, in the snow, in the desert. These have capacity to live anywhere. Okay, bacteria are basically of different shape. If you see bacteria, you will find these are of many shapes are present. Bacteria are not only of one shape. See, spherical bacteria are known as coccus. Okay, spherical bacteria is known as coccus. Rod shaped bacteria is known as bacillus. Okay, bacillus. Comma shaped bacteria is known as vibrio. Okay, and spiral bacteria is known as spirillum. Okay, now let's see what are the mode of nutrition. Mode of nutrition means how they derive the nutrition. What are the food means how they take their food. They are basically heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means they cannot synthesize their food, they do not have any chlorophyll, so they take their food from others. They can be parasites, means they can live in our body or in body of any other living being in the plants. These are chemotrophs also. Sometimes these are chemotrophs. Chemotrophs means some of the bacteria can synthesize their food in the presence of some substances like nitrogen or sulfur. These are autotrophs. Autotrophs and chemotrophs are same. Okay, these are not totally autotrophs. They synthesize their food in the presence of chemicals. And these are pathogens. Pathogens means if they are living in the body of a living being, they cause diseases. Okay, see, these are the these are different types of the different shapes of the bacteria: spirillum, streptococcus, staphylococcus, diplococcus, bacillus, and coccus. Okay, so this is, you can see this bacteria, streptococcus pneumonia. It actually causes the pneumonia disease in our in us, and this is the structure of bacteria. You can see in this structure, in this cell of bacteria, you will find this nucleoid. Okay, this nucleus is not, they are not having a proper nucleus, only the genetic material is found in the cell, in the cytoplasm. Okay, so this is bacteria. Now let us discuss about the fungi. These are basically the multicellular organisms, and multicellular means these are made up of many cells, and these are filamentous. Filamentous means these are made up of small thread like structures. Okay, and mostly these are multicellular. One exception is there, yeast. Yeast is a kind of unicellular fungus, and yeast is actually used in the bread industry in making the dhokla or all these things. Okay, let us see what are their habitat. Where do you find these fungi? Fungi basically it is found in the warm and humid place, means if water is present, if any surface is wet, then you will find these fungus growing on them. Okay, structure, this their structure is made up of small filaments or the thread like structure. These thread like structures are known as hyphae. Okay, and these are pale white in color. These are not having any chlorophyll, that is why these are having whitish color. Again, these are heterotrophs, cannot synthesize their food. These are saprophytes. Saprophytes, this you have studied in class 7, that these living beings live on the dead and decaying matter, and these help in decaying the dead matter. That is why these are also known as decomposers and saprophytes. And these are parasites, means these live on the body of others, like in on us also. See, this is a bread mold, this is mushroom, and this is yeast. Okay, so these are different kinds of the fungus you can find here. Now let us discuss about the another group, that is algae. Algae is basically, it is a living being. It is a living being which is having chlorophyll just like the plants. You can say these are the these are the plants of the first generation. Okay, so these algae have the chlorophyll, and so these can synthesize their food. Exception is blue green algae, which cannot synthesize its food. So these are basically found in the moist places, on the wood, on the soil, fresh water, on the in the ponds. Here you find the algae. Okay, so these are mostly, these are you can say these are multicellular. Some of the ones are unicellular also, like Chlamydium monas is a kind of algae which is unicellular. Volvox is a kind of algae which lives in the colonies. Okay, and Spirogyra is a kind of algae which is found in the filamentous form, in a thread like structure. Okay, mode of nutrition, these are autotrophs. Autotrophs, you know that they can synthesize their food. Symbionts, symbionts means I told you in this this topic I told you in class 7th. Symbiont or symbiosis or the symbiotic relationship is the one in which two living beings live together with each other. Okay, so algae is also symbiont. This blue green algae about which I was talking, that blue green algae lives in the roots of different plants, and these help in fixing the nitrogen or other nutrients for the plants. Okay, now you see this structure which you are seeing here. It is green colored and it is having two flagella. It is actually Chlamydomonas, and these are the algae. Red algae is there, green algae is there, brown algae is there, and this last structure which I have shown you here, it is Spirogyra. Okay, now let us see what our next group is. It is Protozoa. So protozoa are actually the most primitive types of the animals. These are the unicellular animals. Previously, which we have discussed, these were some plant-like microorganisms or some non chlorophyll bearing living beings. Now these are the living beings which are actually belonging to the animal group. They can move, they can eat the food. Okay, but these are primitive in structure, and these are eukaryotic. What does this term mean? Eukaryotic means their cell has a nucleus. They have a proper kind of nucleus is present in their cells. Okay, that is why these are called eukaryotic organism. Where do you find protozoa? You will find this in the soil, in the water, in the sea, and other. They are also found in the body of other living beings like amoeba. Amoeba can come inside our body and it lives in the intestine. It causes diseases also. Okay, structure wise these have different shapes. Like amoeba is irregular in shape, it is not having any shape. And slipper shape, paramecium is a slipper shaped protozoa. And they have other kind of the structures to mobility means they can move by pseudopodia or by flagella or by cilia. Okay, mode of nutrition, how they take the food, these are all heterotrophs. Okay, because these are animals, so these cannot synthesize their food, they take their food from others. These can be predators and parasites. Predators means they can take their food from the others. Okay, like see, this is amoeba. You can see it is in a irregular shape. This is paramecium, it is looking like a slipper shaped animal. And plasmodium, it is a kind of protozoa, and it causes the disease malaria in us. Okay, now the last one is the virus. Okay, virus are basically non-cellular organism, because these are the structures which are not having any structures. These are not having any cellular content. These do not have any cytoplasm, no nucleus, nothing is present in them. Okay, so these are basically the non-living kind of the structures which remain outside the environment. And once they find any kind of the living host, when they get inside the living body, then they start acting like a living being. So viruses are also known as the link between living and non-living. These have both kind of structures, living structures and non-living structures. Where you find it, these are found in aquatic and terrestrial habitat, means these are found land, water, air, everywhere. So these are not made up of any other structures, these are only made up of nucleoprotein. Okay, basically the proteins and nucleic acids, DNA, RNA, or the protein, these two structures combine to form the viruses. Okay, and once they are inside the host cell, when they are inside the living body, then they start acting as a living being. Otherwise these are totally non-living structures. Though, so these are parasites and pathogens. Parasites, these live in the body of others, and pathogens, because these are causing diseases in various form. That is why these are known as pathogens. This is tobacco mosaic virus. This is influenza virus. tobacco mosaic virus, influenza virus, and HIV virus that causes AIDS. Okay, so these are different types of the viruses which are present in the environment. Now let us see if microorganisms are friends or foe. Friends means either these are beneficial for us or these are causing diseases to us. You can see here, this is kinds of the two kinds of the bacteria are shown here. Some of the bacteria are good one and some of the bacteria are bad one. Like this first one, acidophilus is a kind of the bacteria which helps in forming the alcohols. And this one, the tuberculosis, this is a kind of a bacteria which actually causes disease in us. So some of the living beings are good for us and some of the living beings are bad for us. Let us see useful microorganisms. Like, see, some of the bacteria are present in our gut. These are present in our intestine. These are present in our and stomach, and these help in actually the digestion of the food. So these bacteria are good. Like the lactobacillus, which is present in the curd which you eat, it is a good one, and it helps in the digestion. Okay. Other than that, some bacteria are also helpful in sewage disposal. I told you sewage disposal in class 7. Some aerated tanks are there in which bacteria are present. These bacteria decompose the organic waste materials, and these also are helpful in the soil fertility. You know that rhizobium lives in the root nodules of the plant, and what it does, it actually helps in fixing the nitrogen for the plant. So in this manner, this help in synthesizing of the proteins. Let us see some more useful microorganisms. Food industry. Okay, in aspergillus is a kind of it is a kind of fungus which is used in to form the lactic acid, or the which is used in the soya sauce. Then lactobacillus is a kind of a bacteria which is used in making the curd, cheese, yogurt and all. And other than that, some bacteria are present of Saccharomyces group. These convert the normal glucose, normal sugar into the beer, wine or the bread. So basically these living beings are used in the food industry. Other than that, I told you that yeast is used in the formation of bread, cake and idli and all that. Okay. And nitrogen fixing. Okay, these bacteria are present in the soil, and these help in fixing the atmospheric nitrogen. In atmosphere, nitrogen is in abundance, but we cannot use it. That is why these are present, and these help in fixing the nitrogen in the usable form that can be eaten by the animals, or that can be synthesized by the plants. This I'll discuss with you in the nitrogen cycle later on. And these are also used in the medicines. Okay. uh, Many antibiotics are made up of the fungus. Like penicillin is a kind of the antibiotic which is made up of fungus which is known as penicillium. Okay. Streptomyces, tetramyces, these are the antibiotics which are being made by the fungus and other living beings. Then death and decay. These I told you, this fungus and bacteria, these both are saprophytic in nature. These decompose the body of the living beings. Like in the forest, if any animal dies there, then these help in decomposing the body of that living being. So basically these are used in these forms. Now let us see how the microorganisms are harmful for us. Are they foe for us? So these can cause many diseases also. And if any living being is causing diseases to you, then that is known as pathogen. This is a virus which is entering in your red by WBCs, RBCs, and it is causing disease. Let us see what are the harmful microbes in animals. Like, see, this bacteria, it causes strep throat. Okay, this is streptococcus is a kind of a bacteria which causes throat infections. Food poisoning is caused by salmonella. Common cold is caused by the rhinovirus. This influenza virus causes the flu. Then this is a fungus which is it is known as trichophyton. This causes the athlete's food, means the feet becomes swollen. Malaria, it is caused by the plasmodium. It is also harmful for the plants. These microbes are also harmful for the plants. See, powdery mildew, citrus canker, phy- phytophthora, smut of barley, early blight, white rust. These are some of the diseases which are caused by fungus and bacteria in the plants as well. So you can say that in some manner microbes are good for us, and in some manner microbes are bad for us. Okay. Now let's revise our whatever we have learned so far. So what we have learned, basically microbes are the living beings which are very small, and these are of different types: algae, fungi, virus, bacteria, protozoa. Okay. And these microbes can be of two types: prokaryotic and eukaryotic. In prokaryotic living beings or the microbes, they do not have a proper nucleus. In eukaryotic type of living beings or the microbes, they have a well defined nucleus. Okay. Algae can synthesize its food. Okay. Protozoa are the first animals, these are microscopic. Viruses means these are of both type, these are living as well as non living also. All the living beings, if these are causing diseases, then these are known as pathogens. Then bacteria and fungi, these are called decomposers because these helping decaying of the organic matter. Yeast is basically, it is used in the fermentation, that is making alcohol, medicines, and baking industry for making cakes, pastries, and all. And rhizobium is a bacteria which helps in the fixation of nitrogen in leguminous plants. This you have studied in class 7 also. And malaria is a kind of the protozoa which causes malaria is a kind of a disease which is caused by the protozoa plasmodium. Okay. Now I think my classes I have discussed you all. Now tomorrow I'll discuss some things, some ways by which you can prevent your food from the spoilage by the microbes, and I'll discuss with you nitrogen cycle as well. Thank you class. You can ask any query in the during the session only.